Welcome to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at Act 6.3.3. Take a look at the team I brought in here. This one is really honestly dealer's choice, to be truthful with you. There, the biggest things that you have to worry about is honestly enhanced specials. The path I took has Stupefy and Unstoppable Finale, both of which, again, easy enough to deal with. Just watch how much you get stunned, and of course, make sure your masteries are set so you can decrease the stun duration as much as possible. Beyond that, you have the boss, and we'll talk about him here in just a moment. I went with a fairly basic team. The only one that I brought in as a 6-star was Colossus, and obviously he's not even awakened yet. Outside of that, I just brought in 5 stars. Obviously, I get the synergy with Aegon and Star-Lord there. Brought them in strictly for high hit combos. Brought Corvus in because there's quite a few easy charges on the path I'm going to take. And Colossus just as some backup with, like I said, then Black Widow Clairvoyant. Again, she was a decent counter for a couple people, but outside of that, really honestly, you can bring in just about anybody onto this one. The only thing I would take into consideration maybe is thinking about some power control champions. Somebody like Hawkeye, who off of his SP1, you can go ahead and eliminate a bar of power, or either of the visions, who again you can do that with. Somebody like Rogue, who you can power steel off of. Just there's several options out there if you wanted to do that. Like I said, on this particular path, the only thing you really have to worry about is enhanced specials, and then with the boss, specials are going to come into the power bar is going to come into effect as well. So a power control champion would be the only thing that would be recommended that I didn't go with. But outside of that, to be honest with you, this is probably one of the easiest levels in the whole journey to Thronebreaker. You can walk through this with just about any team. Bring in who you enjoy, who you like, and outside of that, like, we'll talk about how to prepare for Havoc, but there's really not a lot to worry about with him either. So let's jump right in and take a look at the path. So right off the bat here, you do get Vulture and She-Hulk, neither one of which have any link nodes on them whatsoever, so you have nothing to worry about. Like I said, your path nodes are Stupefy and Unstoppable Finale. Stupefy just increases the duration of stuns, so as long as you're not getting stunned, or you have your mastery set to reduce the duration of stun, you can get around that one fairly easily. And then Unblockable Finale, just make sure that when you get them down to that last 25% health, that you're doing high damage and you can get them down quickly because they're unstoppable the entire time. Or bring in a champion with slow to deal with the unstoppable as well. There's several ways around it. Again, this is one of the few levels that you can pretty much bring in any champion for and walk through it. After Joe Fixit, we go to Kang, who has basically what you're going to see this entire path is Joe Fixit has Enhanced Special 1, Kang has Enhanced Special 2, the Hawkeye version of Ronin has Enhanced Special 1, Call Obsidian with Enhanced Special 2, Stark Spidey with Enhanced Special 1, Human Torch with Enhanced Special 2. So basically, back and forth. On the first one on the path, avoid their Special 1, second one, avoid their Special 2, third one. So odds avoid Special 1, evens avoid Special 2s. Eventually after that, you're going to get to Gold Pool being the one with the actual link node, but he has no nodes on him himself, so you have no worries there. That's a pretty straightforward fight as well. And then we'll go over to Hawkeye, who is the boss. Now, there's a few things to keep in mind here. If you're applying a lot of debuffs to him, he does gain 300% attack when under the effects of the debuff. So he actually gets stronger by weakening him. He also has the Force of Will, which gives him immunity to ability accuracy reduction. And then there's the Extinction Protocol. With Extinction Protocol, he actually increases his attack based off of how much power he has in his power bar. If he gets up to a full bar of power, it increases it 15% permanently, all the way up to 200%. Again, this is where, like I said, bringing in a power control champion might be the only thing that really to consider. Then there's the Crumbling Armor. Basically, get in there and keep hitting him repeatedly. If you go longer than 6 seconds without hitting him, you will get an armor debuff, which if you were to get an armor up buff at the same time that you have the debuff on, it automatically counters out your buff. So you want to make sure that you're getting the debuffs off, which can be removed by just landing a hit. And then finally, he has improved power gain. So like I said, somebody that can power lock or power steal, or even just somebody who can eliminate their power bar is the most effective thing for this path. I could have went with that, just like I said, and then control people to make sure that they didn't get to their particular specials that we were worried about, but I didn't go that way. Like I said, I just went ahead and went with a straight team. Like I mentioned in a previous video, wanted to go with more of the 5 stars and not just always be using my highest ranked 6 stars to walk through everything. I could have easily walked through this path with my top champions, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of, just play the path, look at who's on it, and bring in counters that are appropriate. Obviously, we have lots of opportunity to get glaive charges here. You can get off of Ronin, you can get off of Stark Spidey, you can get off of Gold Pool, and that will take care, as well as Kang. All between them and Vulture, you have multiple opportunities to get your glaive charges, get those built up. That's going to put Corvus in a great position for the end of the fight. Let's go ahead and get into that. So as I mentioned, first up here is Vulture. First opportunity to get a glaive charge. This is the only downside to running a Corvus, is that he's kind of a limp noodle right off the bat, especially in higher end fights. Until you get at least 2 of his glaive charges, you are playing a little bit more passively, because you want to make sure that you are running through your charges as quickly as possible so that you can turn around and get that timer going, so you can get back to having the full 20 count again, so you can continue to get crits the entire time. But once he gets, until he has any of his glaive charges, it can be a longer fight. You'll see here, this one isn't too bad, but I went ahead and left it in so that you guys could see that the difference between a fight where you have the glaive charges and where you don't. We still get through Vulture here with very little damage taken, and we're able to pick up our first charge. You can see here, I'm still a quarter of the way from having my guaranteed crits back, which is part of the problem, because that timer can take forever. And when you're trying to fend off an opponent until you can get back there and be able to punch straight through, obviously the nice thing is we build up the special 2 by that point, and it's almost an instant kill. And then we go over here to the She-Hulk fight. Brought in Aegon here, obviously class advantage, and looking at trying to build up some of his charges as well. Some of these champions, the rank up, the build up champions like Corvus, like Aegon, they Captain Marvel movie. I absolutely love them, but it is definitely one of those things that first off, you do need to have them awakened. You do need to have them high sig, and then as well, you need to take the time to build up their charges. If you're not consistently getting high hit combos during a fight and finishing those fights with high hit combos, it can take forever to get Aegon to his real potential. Because, like right here, you're looking at, I was able to get a 49 hit combo off up to 54, okay, which is going to get me 27 charges. 43 charges, sorry. I counted that wrong. But then we turn around and go into the first fight with the link nodes on here. Again, this is just avoiding the SP1. As long as you can do that, you don't have too much to worry about here. That and avoiding getting stunned. Obviously, right there, we were trying to push him up into the SP2 so that we didn't have to worry about it. Now we've went a little bit too far because we've got the SP3 right on the brink, and now I'm trying to bait out that SP2, but he's not going for it. So I went ahead and tried to get as much damage in as possible, thinking that hopefully maybe I could get him down before he triggered the SP3, and obviously that didn't work, so we lost our combo. That being said, obviously we left him at, fairly down. We didn't take a lot in this fight, but that was the one mistake that I really did make, allowing him to get up to that SP3, and then he turns around, goes to throw, and we watch him die. Now, again, bringing Corvus in, we didn't have to bring him in here. We've already got our tech charge, so this isn't going to ramp up Corvus any further, but he is obviously our best counter on the team for Kang at the moment. So again, another fairly straightforward fight. Not much to do on these ones, guys. I mean, I can give you all kinds of advice on, counters for each and every one of these champions, but none of them are really ones that I've ever found that give anybody a lot of trouble. Ronan here, we of course brought Corvus in again because of the fact that he is an Avenger, so that gives us a chance for another charge, and that'll finally get us our second one, which will do a big difference for Corvus. Because the closer we get to those four, the better he gets. And as far as fighting the Ronin Hawkeye, again, great champion, fun to use, but not, there's no real trick to taking him down. Even with, the bonus on the SP1, he's really not doing that much to us. This is the fight I brought in Black Widow for. Obviously, looking at class advantage, I have plenty of Mystic options. I have a ton of great Mystic options. Obviously, we could have brought in Tigra, we could have brought in Doom, Longshot, Dr. Voodoo. The list goes on and on. But was just she's one of my top 5-star Mystics, and she's fun to play. So thought we'd get a little bit of gameplay in with her real quick, and then just kind of walk through this. Call can be a little bit of a longer fight, only because he is a little tankier. And obviously we're trying, and we need to bait out that special 1 because he's got the enhanced special 2, but I let him get over to the special 2. So now we've got to watch it and make sure that we don't get caught on it, which isn't too hard. Both of his specials are fairly close range specials. Obviously he's got a little bit more reach on that SP1, so you want to get back a little bit further. But really, honestly, as long as soon as he starts either of his special 1 or special 2, you just dash back to the edge of the screen, he's not going to catch you on either one of them. Finally, next we come in here to the Stark Spidey fight, which is yet again, we've got the tech already, but Stark Spidey, of course, is an evade champion, so we've got a chance here. Get the knockdown here. There was our third charge, and it's over. Next, we went into the Human Torch fight here. Basically, just make sure you got somebody who's Incinerate immune, and you can walk through this fight as well. Again, your biggest thing is avoiding his SP2, because, of course, that is enhanced on this particular level. But all in all, I mean, as long as you're Incinerate immune, you can normally, it's not hard to walk through Human Torch. You know, his biggest thing that you have to worry about is, you know, he can stack those Incinerates so quickly that if you're not immune, you are looking at going down overwhelmingly. Again, here we got the SP2, which we're trying to avoid, but we kept building him up to it. He does have the stun on that, so of course we got to worry about that increased stun duration, which opened us up to quite a bit on this, but at the same time, still just build back up to our own personal SP2. Now, of course, we got the unblockable finale here, so we got to watch everything, because no matter what he does, he is unstoppable or unblockable for now. And he is also down. So we'll move on to the gold pool fight here. This is our last charge on Corvus. He does, the mutant champion being number 4. If you're not fully aware, I mean, I mentioned them throughout each. You need a tech champion, an Avenger, an evade champion, and a mutant. Once you get all 4, you get Corvus to his full potential. The only thing that's going to do it anymore is bringing in some synergy champions. And, I've never found the absolute necessity to having the Proxima synergy or the Wolverine synergy. I do love Wolverine. I just, for the longest time, I never had him as anything but a 4-star. So, I just went ahead and went with stronger teammates and got him taken care of. Obviously there's a couple other synergies that he has, but they're not that important. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, if you were going to bring in a synergy team to support Corvus, Loki and Heimdall are better, because it gives him that little extra boost at the end to guarantee that he gets another unstoppable in, and as well or unblockable, and also on top of that gets that little extra bit of staying power at the end because of the Heimdall. Plus, on top of that, you have a chance to regenerate health just by doing a dash back. All of this just builds up on the amount that you can do on Corvus and the staying power that you can use, as well as saving on potions and revives. So now finally we got over here to the boss fight with Havok. This one fairly straightforward. It took me I don't believe, I know we didn't one and done this. I brought in Colossus right off the bat just to kind of get a little bit of build up on him and get him started, see how far we could get him down right off the bat. But like I said, we do have Aegon already built up quite a bit. He has several charges in him, so his combos are going to hit fairly high. We have Star-Lord, who, again, can do the high combos, because we do want to watch how long the fight goes, because the more power he gains, the stronger he gets, and eventually in a longer fight. So we were looking at trying to get him down quickly here. Should have probably started right off the bat with either Star-Lord, Aegon, or Corvus, but at the same time, Colossus was healthy. Went ahead and went trying to get as much done as possible to guarantee that we didn't have to use any more revives or potions on this. There was only a few, honestly, on this entire path that I used. We're going to go through the entire team here, but the other 4 are going to weaken him enough that by the time I bring in Corvus, it's a finishing blow, basically. So again, like I said, we brought in Aegon. He's already 52 into his combo meter, and then, obviously we've got the 10-hit combo actually on Havoc, and we have the increase from the combo shield from having the synergy in there with Star-Lord, which helped keep that even after taking the SP1. Black Widow Clairvoyant, I knew she wasn't going to do the job by herself, but at the same time, taking off a little bit more, and then we get him down to under 40% by the time we bring Corvus in. Of course, Corvus has so much crit power, especially with 4 charges on him, that it gives us the ability to shorten this fight up and guarantee that we can finish him off, even coming in with reduced health here. And that's it, folks. Like I said, this level, I can give you plenty of advice on it. I can talk about the particular champions that you can bring in, who's got power control, who's got power lock, those type of things. But honestly, this is your opportunity out of the path to getting Thronebreaker here. If you want a level that you can just play with your favorite champions on, this is it. The only thing to really worry about is the Havoc fight, and that is only because he does have so much power gain that you may have to use a couple potions and revives there at the end if you don't bring in some high damage dealers. But outside of that, nothing really, and just have fun with it. But we're going to talk more about some more difficult fights coming up. Obviously, we've got the Iron Man Infinity War boss on the next level, and we will have that video out first part of next week. This one, tomorrow, we will be going live tomorrow evening, and then Monday, we will have the weekly crystal opening. Got a pretty good batch going for this week, so let's see if we can do anything to compare to last week's, which was just amazing. So if you haven't seen that yet, make sure you jump over and check out that video. And it's definitely got some killer choices in it, and a couple that I'm sure a few of you might have chose differently, but I was ecstatic with our pulls on that, and it was our largest crystal opening so far on the channel. But we will see you guys back for the next one, and I hope you guys are enjoying the journey. Peace out.